Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist, and welcome to Star Codes. This is the podcast where we look at an important astrology and numerology event coming up in the future so that we can align energetically and receive the wisdom of the message behind the cosmic event. In this case, it is the Capricorn full moon with the sun in Cancer. And there's so much going on with this full moon, not only in the stars, but in the numerology code for the day and for the actual lunation. So let's start with the date. It happens on July 13th, 2022. And July in 2022 is a 13 universal month. So what this does is set up a double 13 code, which is really extraordinary because 13 represents the divine feminine, 13 represents life, death, rebirth, and tuning in to that inner voice that always will guide you through the major and minor transformations and changes in your life. And the divine feminine aspect is activated because 13 aligns with the moon in a big way. There are 13 lunations in a year. There are 13 weeks in a calendar season. And so 13 is so connected to nature and the natural rhythms of life, and also to women's cycles as well. And you know, the empowerment that happens when you're tuned in to natural living and rhythms and honor those in your life. So this full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn represents in ancient astrology the father, it merges the feminine and masculine, the left and right, the opposites with each other. And of course, a full moon has the sun and moon opposite each other, where the sun in ancient astrology represents the father and the moon represents the mother. So, and it is in Capricorn and Cancer, with the sun in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn. So we have so many themes here that embrace this incredible balance between the divine feminine and sacred masculine within us, and that it is super important right now to accept both into your life, to not abdicate or push away one or the other. Truly, it is about the balance between both in your world. Now, we have this double 13 code, and I will be doing an extended episode on this number. So our next Star Codes podcast will be about the number 13, just because in July it is activated and it's very important because of the full moon tie-in here. But we have another double numerology code also activated, and that is for the sun and moon. They are going to be both at 21 degrees, 21 minutes. So this is really amazing. It sets up a quadruple 21 code. The moon is at 21 degrees, 21 minutes in Capricorn, and the sun at 21 degrees, 21 minutes in Cancer. And 21 is, of course, representing our 21st century. It is the number of truth and joy and creativity and connection. It reduces to the number 3, which represents that social interaction, that self-expression, that creation that really sets us up and lights us up with life. If you think of the 3 as the triad of the mother, father, child. So here again, we have the archetypes of the divine feminine and sacred masculine. And in this case, the creation archetype, when there is an actual creation. In this case, the symbol is mother, father, child. So 21 is activated multiple times. The number 13 is activated in the July month and in the day. July 13th is when the full moon happens. So we have an intensification here. So it's going to feel even more intense than other full moons do, just because of all this incredible numerology that is triggered and activated. Now, one more thing we have for the year, we are in a 6 universal year in 2022, and 21, another number that's activated for the full moon, reduces to 3. 3 and 6 are in the triad in numerology that I call the creation triad. It is a triad of growth, but really through self-expression and love. And so this triad is really heart-centered. And then another connection in the numerology code is that the number 13, which is the second number that's activated, reduces to 4. Now 4 is connected to the home. It represents the square. So we have that activation for the home and family and security, the physical buildings, architecture, feng shui. And then in the 6th universal year, that represents your emotional family. So nurturing your family and love and compassion. So we have a big family code activated as well. And the reason I bring this up is that the sun will be in Cancer at 21 degrees, and Cancer represents the home and family and love. So all of these archetypes that are just so important for our human life, family and love, the connection between the feminine and masculine, being connected to the lunar cycles and nature, this is all coming together in this incredible lunation. So it's super exciting. So now let's look at some of the aspects that the planets make, that the sun and moon make, first of all, to other planets. And the moon is conjunct Pluto. So Pluto's at 27 degrees in Capricorn, the moon at 21 degrees, as you know. And this is a conjunction, and it really, really intensifies the impact of this full moon. So it purges, it helps us release, it helps us let go, especially emotionally, and getting into the most sensitive parts of who we are. So being more in tune with intuition and psychic awareness and dreams and visions, and underlying truths also coming to the surface. Pluto really empowers. And so this will help you. The release process, the purging process will empower you to be present in a very, very magnificent way, because you're not attached to the past or focused on the future. You're literally there, ready to just be fully available to those intuitive insights that guide you through the day. And so this is really exciting. Now the sun is opposite Pluto because it is a full moon with the sun in Cancer. And so that creates a really big rebirth, because there's a tension with the sun and Pluto that is asking you to just surrender. So if you feel any kind of tension at this time, it's really about relaxing into a new way of being and allowing yourself to breathe and to rest and to let bygones be bygones, and meditate and get into nature. Remember that 13 code, that's really an invitation to partake in Mother Nature. Now, another conjunction, so the moon is conjunct Pluto and the sun is conjunct Mercury. So Mercury is at 17 degrees, the sun at 21 degrees, both in Cancer. And so this really focuses your practical thinking on goals. So you become conscious of them. And remember, the empowerment through Pluto makes you feel like you can accomplish anything, because the moon and Pluto are just literally bursting with this courage inside your heart. So you can do many things. You can, with the Mercury conjunction to the sun, your intelligence, your intellectual processing ability is very strong. You're engaged in that way. You have a clear intellect. You have clarity about positive outcomes as well. And so any kind of communication that you have around this full moon is going to be infused with positive encouragement and just a sense of being very optimistic. And so that's a good thing. Now, the moon is opposite Mercury, given that the sun is merged with Mercury. So this can create a moodiness at times. There is a conflict here between possibly your feelings and your brain, your thoughts. So it could be a sense of readjustment that needs to happen. And so, because of the emphasis on home and family, getting things in order, getting your home and environment in order, cleaned, really, so you feel at home and not in a sense of clutter. This is a wonderful feng shui full moon to begin with. So that would be a wonderful way to just tidy your life, tidy your space. And then finally, the moon is trine Uranus, and that means the sun is sextile Uranus. And so we have a big activation here in terms of freedom and breakthroughs and imagination and intuition, interest in astrology and numerology, unusual experiences, and just yearning for emotional freedom as well, because the heart-centered breakthroughs that are going on all over the place here are just really favored. You're just letting go, releasing, and Uranus is taking you into the future without baggage, right? I forgot, we have the sun trine Neptune and moon sextile Neptune. There's so much going on with this full moon. It's just incredible. So this Neptune connection really increases compassion and empathy, sensitivity, very similar to the number 13 as well. And the Pluto conjunction, just so sensitive, so tuned in. Your psychic abilities are just through the roof. Meaning listen to your intuition, listen to the inner voice. You feel very creative, and your inner artist just wants to come through. And then, just to put the cherry on top, we have the moon and sun square to Chiron, which creates a T-square to the planet of healing through love. So if you feel drawn to talk to a friend talk through something, or get some kind of therapy or cranial sacral, Reiki, this is a wonderful time. Massage, it's just a fabulous time to pay attention to unresolved energy at this time. There are other transits as well. Venus trine Saturn is happening. You get more serious about love, about finances, about beauty. It flows, it's a trine. So, Saturn is the wise teacher, and so there can be this sense of valuing things in your life that you may not have valued, especially regarding relationships and finances and anything that gives you pleasure, to put just your attention onto those. And we also have Venus square to Neptune, and so that brings a little bit of uncertainty and insecurity unless you use the discipline of Saturn to come through and focus on those values and focus on those responsibilities, and guard against being too impressionable, right? Too caught up in the imagination, the unreality that is taking you away from what's actually happening in front of you. Though if you do want to create, this is actually a wonderful additional way to bypass some of the tension, because Neptune and Venus are connected to creativity, especially music. So if you could channel your energy into those, or into being affectionate and tender, and into what brings you pleasure, but without overdoing it, without going overboard, this is another way to really have an incredible experience with this wonderful full moon. This is really filled with empathy and compassion, and a wake up for us to just tune into our hearts, where the sun is in Cancer, which really is about that compassion and nurturing. And then the moon in Capricorn just really is focusing us on what we're here really to do. Like, where is your heart? Where are you leaving your heart? What really lights you up in terms of your mission and your destiny and your purpose? And because Capricorn naturally rules the area of the astrology, which is the career. And so what fires you up? Just really dig into that and focus on that and give it your full attention. And if you then go with the flow, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is timing, and you just allow the natural timing of your life to unfold, always making sure that your heart is engaged, that you're listening here instead of here, right? Because here is for practical, but here is for inspiration and guidance. And so, yes, you need your mind to translate and to get along with, do all the practical things during the day. It's really here where you receive the spiritual sustenance. So I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful Capricorn full moon. Really enjoy this one. The codes are just stunning. And also enjoy your own code. You have a star code too. So if you want to discover yours, your astrology numerology code, your destiny, your purpose, the numbers, the degree numbers in your astrology and how they line in, how they align with your numerology code, go to starcodeclass.com, where I have a free masterclass for you. It's about 90 minutes long, and it's just an introduction into who you are at soul level, who others are at soul level as well, so you understand them more and are in a place of non-judgment regarding their decision-making process and their way of life. And it includes, by the way, a handout. So that'll help you to just be completely immersed in the material that's presented. Again, it's free, and you can get instant access at starcodeclass.com. Have a beautiful Capricorn full moon, and I'll see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.